Why do people still ride these old BMW Airheads? Since I bought my 1978 BMW R100RS, I've learned a few answers. I was driven towards these motorcycles when I saw that Elspeth Bird rode in 1982 an R60/6 for an adventure around the world.
And it was kind of with that bike that I sort of realised the travelling potential of a motorbike, really.
Last year, I took a leap of faith and bought a 50-year-old Airhead in Germany with the intention of riding it all the way home to Ireland. Since then, I've learned a thing or two about Airhead ownership. So, here are 10 simple tips, pros and cons, I wish I knew before. Let me share with you a few cons. The biggest concern with these old machines isn't the engine or the gearbox, it's usually the electrics. Thankfully, there is nothing overly complicated here. No computers, no sensors really, no hidden electronics. Just simple wires that can be understood, traced and fixed. These bikes are heavy, especially the RS model with the narrow handlebars demands attention at low speeds. But once you're moving, everything changes. At 180 km per hour, it's incredibly stable, smooth, planted. Just be careful in the crosswinds. That fairing will catch the wind and push you around. Now, when it comes to mileage, low mileage isn't always a good thing. A bike that sat unused for years will often have droid seals and aging rubber. Leaks are almost guaranteed. Personally, I take a bike that's been ridden regularly over one that's been left to sit and decay. The brakes, they require commitment. Those 80 calipers mean you need to plan your stops. No distractions, no ABS safety net. But honestly, I never felt I needed ABS here. Well, consumption, that's part of the deal. About 100 milliliters per 1000 kilometers. Completely normal for these engines. Some of you have mentioned in your comments that the unleaded fuel of today can cause troubles with the valves in time. I also add a bit of fuel additive with every tank. That is because this bike has been designed for lead fuel. But what are the good things about owning an Airhead? The wind protection is excellent. In fact, I'd rather ride this in winter than my Harley or my 1200 GS. Your body and legs stay well protected, but your head sits in clean air, so a good quiet helmet makes all the difference. And yes, this is a powerful machine. 70 horsepower doesn't sound like much today, but it's more than enough to get you into trouble. This bike is also surprisingly economical. Around 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers on long runs, and a bit more in mixed riding. I've even seen 4.9 liters per 100 kilometers on steady motorway cruising. Maintenance costs are reasonable, not really more expensive than a modern BMW, maybe even a bit less. And the beauty is in the simplicity of these machines. Everything is accessible, everything makes sense. These bikes were built in a time when ease of maintenance actually mattered. They are incredibly reliable too. Even in freezing temperatures, they just start and go. One of the joys of Airhead ownership is learning that you don't need to be a master mechanic to look after one. With a few basic tools, a Heinz manual, and a bit of patience, most maintenance becomes surprisingly approachable. These bikes were built at a time when simplicity mattered, and 50 years later, that simplicity still gives owners something that's becoming increasingly rare: self-reliance. For a motorcycle that's almost 50 years old, parts availability is surprisingly good. Most of what you need is still out there, which makes long-term ownership far less intimidating than many people imagine. Finally, one thing you can't ignore: these bikes turn heads. People come up to you, ask questions, share stories. You don't just ride it, you carry history with you. Another thing I've come to appreciate is the Airhead community. These bikes have a way of bringing people together. Owners are generous with their knowledge, their time, and sometimes even their spare parts. Wherever you travel, chances are you'll meet someone who has owned one, ridden one, or dreamed of owning one. It's one of the few motorcycles that comes with a community as valuable as the machine itself. For all of you that shared your experience and knowledge in the comments along these videos, thank you. And if I missed something, please leave a comment below. I love this machine. I love its simplicity, its honesty, no frills, no pretense, just pure delivery of power. Every time I open the throttle, I feel that raw, blunt character. All 70 horses come to life. I'm genuinely impressed by its design and engineering. It was so far ahead of its time. The engine, the fairing, arguably still one of the best ever made. And somehow, even 50 years later, it still feels extremely relevant. And for now, it still runs. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember to just go ride.